Welcome. I'm Dr. Andrew Wilner, and today I have a special guest, Dr. Haneen Abu Ramele. Welcome, Haneen.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, Haneen, you are a family physician and you work locum tenens, one of my favorite topics. And I understand that you have a locum tenens physician-owned company. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, yeah, it was quite the unexpected journey into creating it. That's not what I had planned on during medical school and residency training. It was kind of like go, go, go. But as you know, Dr. Milner, there's a lot of travel that happens during medical training, and I ended up doing my residency in a different area than my medical schooling. And when I graduated, moved back home and left the professional network I had built during residency and wondered, well, where do doctors look for jobs? And that was my first encounter into the problem of connecting physicians with medical facilities directly. Um, and so that was back in 2012. And that's where the idea of kind of the centralized search tool, the Airbnb search for locum jobs or job seeking physicians in general came to mind. But obviously, I didn't have the technical know how to implement the website. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago, through my sister in law, did I meet a technical co founder who ended up building the platform. And there I went.
Well, I can relate because my training was literally all over the place in Canada and Los Angeles and Long Beach and whatever network I had just kind of got left behind each time. So when it came time for me to find my first or full-time job in the United States, I had no idea how to do that because my fellowship was in Canada, where everything, of course, is different. So, and locum tenens is another story altogether. It's really not at all centralized. It's just the opposite.
Yes, I mean in the U.S. There's domination of the recruitment agencies, specifically in the locum tenens field, and I mean I'm a Canadian physician, and I do notice a lot of these now that I've delved into both kind of worlds. Some differences there in terms of locum tenens in Canada is a much looser term. It's and you know there's no recruitment agencies. My issue here was fragmented job posting boards. Whereas in the US, the recruitment agencies really dominate and create lack of transparency and act as almost gatekeepers between the physician and the medical facility, in that there's no, it's almost intertwined, the term locum tenens in the US with an agency physician. That's how much they dominate, which is definitely something different that I noticed.
In my
Um,
research for my book, the number I came up with was 80% of locum tenens physicians use agencies. And I think the others will work usually locally or through some connection where they can contract directly with a clinic. That's something that I did. I worked with a physician who I knew. He paid me on a daily rate. There was no agency involved. Or through some other network connection where you can really bypass the agency. So, but there's certainly no rules in the locum tenens world, whether you use an agency or you don't use an agency. But what's different about your agency versus the usual U.S. agency?
mhm. So it's truly meant to be like an Airbnb platform. We have the search map. You're meant to see things in a very transparent fashion. So the job listings are very detailed. They give you an accurate picture of how it's going to be like practicing there. What's the patient volume you're going to be seeing? What is the compensation? So everything is upfront. And then obviously creating that direct connection between the facility and the physician. So Low Community is meant to be the platform that facilitates that connection, similar to Airbnb, where although you're using their platform, you're directly connecting with the host. It's really a very similar concept. And then the other thing is we're really a tech company. And so we do have a matching algorithm that runs in the background that matches the physicians to the jobs. Obviously, we need a lot more jobs and a lot more physicians to harness that data and really start utilizing artificial intelligence and things like that. But that's part of the vision, is to transcend beyond just a job posting board into this platform that really uses data, is very community driven. That's the other thing I find in locum tenens is it can be a very isolating experience, and medicine is a very collegial kind of atmosphere. That's how you learn, that's how you grow, from colleagues, from cases, from talking about things. And so trying to connect these locums together within networks is the next part of our vision as well.
So for my next locum tenens job, if I wanted to go through your company, where would I find you? What would I do?
Yeah, so it's online, www.lowcommunity.com, and you sign up either as a job-seeking physician or as an employer. So in your case, you'd sign up, for example, as a job-seeking physician. You'd be guided through some initial questions, and we just require upload of basic documents to just get that initial verification to make sure that our users are verified physicians. And then off you go. You'll be able to see the search map, and the other way we allow users to search for jobs is a curated matching algorithm that shows you one job at a time, and you can either pass or save or interact with the job owner. Obviously, in the US right now, we're just starting to build our job database. So we have over 100 jobs, but still really working hard on building that next phase. Having the physician support is really important. I think that's kind of the turning point for administrators. Is if I can say, look, this is how many physicians support this concept. And I've seen a lot of great feedback and validation from the physician community about the platform and its utility. That's going to be the way I can kind of get past the next obstacle, which is convincing administrators to use the platform instead of the recruitment agencies that have spent years building those relationships.
Well, Haneen, thank you very much for explaining Locommunity, and I look forward to giving it a try. And I encourage any locum tenens physicians to try it out and see what happens. Well, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much.